Hey guys, MonsterMatt here, and welcome to Halcyon 6 Lightspeed Edition. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic Monday. And yes, this is different from Bomber Crew, and different from pretty much anything else I've been playing recently. But I've been playing a lot of this in my spare time. Well, not a lot, but like I've at least tried it in my spare time, and I really like it, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Now, I'm going to kind of keep this brief, which is maybe a bit of a lost cause in this game, because there is a lot to this game. It's got a lot of meat, potatoes, stew, and everything else you can possibly want in a game. So we don't have a main campaign. We're not skipping the prologue because I don't understand what the hell I'm doing. As you can see, there's a lot of difficulty levels. You can go Iron Man mode. There's a ton to this game, and that is loud. Hang on, let me just turn the music down a little bit. Had enough trouble with music lately. That way down. Good music, don't get me wrong. But, really, really loud. Okay, so. Main campaign is fine. Commander is normal, basically. This makes it easier, but let's go with Commander. Not really much point to doing Iron Man right this moment. Yeah, it's fine. All right, start it up. Got your tips here. But essentially, what Halcyon 6 is, it's a medley of different science fiction titles. Like it's kind of like there's elements of XCOM because like there's tactical combat. You know, you learn how to exploit different weaknesses, how to cause different weaknesses. It's very tactical. Look at the combat system. You also have to manage your resources, build your bases. So like that, it's kind of like XCOM, but it's also just kind of a fun space romp. You know, it's just I don't know, it's cool. And there's a story to it, obviously, so which I will now stop ignoring. For half a millennium, the spacefaring races of the galaxy fought and conspired against one another for supremacy. But it was the Terran Federation, through the ingenuity and bravery of its officer class, that ultimately prevailed. Through the discovery and utilization of ancient artifacts left over from a long-dead precursor alien race, because space things are just lousy with those, they put an end to the disastrous series of wars between the factions. One of these precursor artifacts is your home, Halcyon 6. The crown jewel of the Terran precursor discoveries, the Starbase acts as the Federation's home base in the Halcyon sector. Commanded by Admiral Brahmacandra, who has a cool damn name, the Federation's most decorated officer, and protected by the 12th Fleet, the Starbase is permanently staffed with a variety of Federation officers with the mission of unlocking its mysteries. Today, however, the station has received some unwelcome news. A garbled hypercast ordering the 12th Fleet's return to Federation space. With the intention of returning as soon as possible to continue the work on The Experiment, Admiral Brahmacandra leaves you in charge of the station. Wow, that doesn't seem wise. Prepare for warp. So this is your first look at the moving around the space thing. As you can see, it's all 2D. It's kind of got a pixely retro feel to it, which is actually a good thing as far as I'm concerned. It looks pretty cool. You got your cutesy little arts for your officers as well as their name. Admiral, we've arrived at the rendezvous point, and there's no sign of the welcoming force. No hypercast signals detected either. Think we're early? This is Admiral Brahmacandra. Broaden your signal detection, Captain. The 4th and 8th fleets are expected to join us as well, and those Titan-class ships should be hard to miss. Titan-class? Magic words. I want them. Oh. And Lieutenant Commander Rogers. Admiral, I'm picking up something. Definitely not Federation in origin. Some kind of... Oh, whatever it is, it's getting stronger, sir. And the screen bobbing up and down. It's got... It might leave a few things to be desired as far as graphics go, but I personally find it charming. We've never seen anything like this before, sir. Some kind of portal. Admiral, I'm getting multiple ship readings, all heading for our position. They must be coming out of that thing. Yes, indeed they are. Unknown hostiles. I repeat, unknown hostiles. We have to get out. We might have to get a little creative here. A little creative here, indeed. Oh, ocular vessel, spiked alien, and chitinous monster, all called. What is that? Cruel. They're the cruel. Okay. Commander, they're powering weapons. We should take the initiative and attack first. Click on the highlighted button to attack with the incisor beam power. See, and like just like mousing over these quickly, you can see like exploits. This affects allies. That's allies. This inflicts self. Like there's a wealth of information here. You have no idea what it does. But for the tutorial, it more or less takes you by the hand and walks you through it. Next, use the backstep maneuver to inflict ship disabled and prevent your enemy from attacking. Oh, see, so we're spreading out the disables, and this cool little ship, you know, like there are battle animations that are pretty cool. Excellent. Now select Drone Swarm Attack to attack all enemies at once. Ooh, and it inflicts Drone Swarm. 0% chance. Oh, I guess it doesn't inflict Drone Swarm then. Enemies have resistances and vulnerabilities against specific status effects. It is extremely important that you take advantage of these. You can right-click on an enemy to view their vulnerabilities and resistances. It's like, here, have a bunch of information you barely know how to do anything with. But apparently, it resists the heck out of ship disabled. This one resists the heck out of nothing. And this one resists the heck out of nothing as well. Okay, so that's pretty simple. However, we've been disabled, or disrupted. The ocular vessel seems to be powering up a large attack. Shield yourself with protective field. Okay, so you have defensive abilities, offensive abilities. You know, there's support, there's attack. Like the sheer number of things in this game is staggering. So now we're targeting the ocular vessel to exploit ship disabled with this thing's power. Look at that. See, and whenever you exploit something, it makes it do bonus damage. However, it does consume the status effect. Great! Combos occur when an attack exploits a status effect like ship disabled. Yes, it does. Spike Twirl. Select the Acid Bomb's power to attack your enemies, doing damage over several rounds. So we'll say that for now, this is just kind of like a... It's not quite a what even is. Jesus Christ, guys, calm down. It's not quite a what even is, because I already kind of know the game, and I'm not going into it as blind as usual. This is probably about as close as I've done to just a proper, like, first look / review for you guys. But I am more than willing to play the crap out of this game. Just be aware it is very, very, very long when I look at it. Well, like, I haven't played enough into it to know how long it is, but it definitely gives that impression. There's certainly a lot to it, though, and I'd be eager to play it if you guys want to see it. So please let me know in the comments if you're interested in seeing more of this game. I will happily play more of it. Great job! However, the Admiral is still in bad shape. Select the Repair Drone Overdrive power to repair. All repair abilities have a limited number of uses per mission and must be replenished by returning to Halcyon 6. So your self-heals and other heals definitely have a limit to them. Like, you're not able to just go plodding off into the stars willy-nilly. You gotta think about this stuff. Use the Ninja. This ship's called a Ninja? That's kind of cool. Use the Ninja's Doom Cannon as a last resort. It can only be used once, so make it count. The Doom Cannon. It didn't even die. Dang. Commander McLaren's Ninja is in critical condition and is taking damage over time from hull ruptured. If it's not repaired immediately, it might be destroyed. Let's not do that then, yeah. Tier blank. I don't know what tier that is then. Okay. Tactical ships. Cool. Anyway, the Warlock's Cauterize Hull repair power has no more uses left. Your only hope is to use Stasis Lock to disable the enemy. You there. Stop shooting me at things. Stop shooting me at things. No, that... Stop shooting things at me. Now finish it off with the Paladin's Dreadnought Ram. Ooh, that's cool. Yo-ho, yo-ho, here we go. As everyone knows, the best way to kill something is to crash ship into it. Oh god, no! He blew up our guy! Admiral, I don't think! And he's gone. Man. Man. We lost a ship, but the battle is almost won. Select Solar Flare! Solar Flare! Sorry, I had to. I as a Dragon Ball fan, I had to. Taiyouken! Admiral, we're picking up more of those portals on the sensor. Oh god, 3 of them. More fleets from all of those? Oh, you guys are kind of screwed, ain't you? We're being surrounded! Admiral, we need to jump now! Back to Halcyon 6! I've got... Oh, goodness. What the how many eyes do you need? Oh god, what is that? That thing! Jump now, for God's sake, jump! And they're just gone. Oh dear. Commander, we seem to have lost our hypercast link with Admiral Brahmacandra and the 12th Fleet. So it's just us then. Halcyon 6. Starbase Commander. Oh, right. With the 12th Fleet destroyed and little information as to whether the Federation still even stands, you and your crew are stranded in hostile alien territory, cut off from resupply and in desperate need of more crew. You have little choice but to continue working on Admiral Brahmacandra's experiment to try to unlock the power of the station. Meanwhile, enemies may soon catch wind of the Federation's weakness and use that as an opportunity to strike and claim the station for themselves. Choose your first officer. And this is where you get into the more XCOM things, where, you know, you get to choose your officers, dictate, you know, like which things you build in your station and all that. And I'm still incredibly inexperienced at that, but that's, you know, I've played just enough of it to like be able to explain to you guys what's going on. Because when I first started, I was like, right. So you have Lucas Beaumont, Corbane Lau, and Isolde Freehold, the mechanic, the strategist, and the physicist. I did that last part in reverse order for some reason. Anyway, science, tactical, and mechanical. You know, engineering. Sorry, that's the term I was looking for there. Now, each officer has a prestige class you cannot change and comes prefixed to them, which I'm a little bit annoyed about, actually. It's one of the things I find kind of annoying. Not because it's a bad mechanic, but because I have OCD like, it's not officially OCD, but like, I have slightly compulsive tendencies, and one of them is just like, I need to find the most mix-match, you know, min-maxy power combination of these classes, and just not knowing what was out there really bothered me. But I have since looked it up, and when I looked up, I mean, I've just restarted the game enough times to figure out who had what. Science classes can either be chaos theorists or counselors. Technical classes can either be counselors or commandos, and engineering guys can be commandos or chaos theorists. So there's only actually 3 prestige classes, but the different class of officer, you know, it has access to only 2 of the 3. So, and it's worth noting as well that each class also has its own, like, advancement path. You don't need to use the prestige classes. You know, if you decide you want to go on with the regular powers of a physicist, you can do that. You know, like, you don't need to go chaos theorist if you don't want to. But where to start with? Well, let's see. I still have no idea which of them is even better. So, bend space-time, siphon dark matter, warp atomic structure, ablative field. So he can shield himself, just suck health from other people, haste people. So this seems like a support class. I'm assuming that the strategist is the combat class. Bridge shot, yeah, does damage, inflicts weapon disruption. Dimensional flashbang inflicts some debuffs. Fire at will looks like you do more damage possibly, but it also makes you vulnerable. Into the fray, inspires your allies and exploits. So yeah, like, it looks like there's some self buffs, but also some debuffs on your enemies here, which is nice. And the engineering guys, broadside salvo, inflicts vulnerable on yourself, but inflicts hull breach and does a pretty good chunk of damage actually. Quick tune-up can self heal. Ramming speed, hull breach is yourself, but exploits and then does a hell of a lot of damage. Repair drone overdrive. Huh. I'm actually kind of getting the impression that maybe the engineering guys are meant to be tankier. They've got more self heals than anybody. Like the science guys can self heal and can heal other people, but you know, I can shield allies. But I think that the engineering guys might be the built-in tanks. Let's. If I just select one, will it, like, give me more information? Yes, okay. Engineering officers are the toughest and most mechanically minded officers in the Federation. Their power repertoire consists of damage over time, hard-hitting and taunting attacks with buffs which protect allies from harm. In space combat, engineering officers are able to command engineering ships, which have the toughest hull of the 3 ships. Technical science engineering, okay. So what about the other 2? Tactical officers are the most daring and quick-thinking officers in the Federation. Their power repertoire, there's a missing R there, consists of sneak attacks, immobilization attacks, and combo attacks, while their buff powers can often add aim and damage boosts to friendly units. In space combat, they're able to command tactical ships, which are the hardest hitting. Okay, so they're damage. Okay, so then basically support damage tank, right, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and say... I mean, tank seems like the obvious choice to go with first, because you want to be able to take these hits. Yeah... Like, I really wish it gave me more than, like, the things they can have eventually, because I don't even know how, like I think, like I was saying, there's a tremendous amount of information in this game to just get used to. Let's just go with Isolde, sure. Why not? Sorry to wake you, Commander, but it looks like we have a situation. Thank you, computer. Our sensors have picked up a fleet coming in our direction. The signals suggest a pirate origin. You should expect them to arrive here in 48 hours. Well, I'm glad it gives me all kinds of time. In the case of hostilities, the experiment may be our only hope to defend ourselves. The crew will work around the clock to make the necessary preparations. Oh, they're already here. That was fast. Commander, the oncoming fleet we detected has just entered our space. It's a single pirate ship, likely hostile. Patching them through now. Rarzub Toe Slicer McCormick. Federation Starbase. Our scouts detected the departure of your fleet over a week ago. You're now at the mercy of Admirax Zeb and the Zealots clan. Hand over the Starbase and we'll allow you to return to Federation space. Comply, or we'll commence orbital bombardment. So this is the scenario screen. The screen will appear during missions that require key decisions such as attacking, retreating, or using an officer to gain a special outcome. In this case, the fleet is demanding your surrender. Choose response below. Hint, you should reject them. Otherwise you have no game. I forgot, you Federales love your precursor toys. Prepare for bombardment, Federation scum. Commander, in light of this development, we should begin initializing the experimental starship creation process now. Okay, so there's going to be a lot to this game, like I said. You can make your different ships, like you start the game with 2 ships in every category. And 1 in the cadet category, which you're never going to use. Probably. The Knight-class engineering vessel is currently the only starship the Starbase is able to build, because this is the tutorial, and you can't get away from it. That said, I actually do like the Knight. It's pretty good. So it tells you your race, your class, what tier of tech it is, your hull stats, your damage stats, how aimed is, evasion, speed, crit, yada yada. Like all the information you need is right here. Power slots, any upgrades you might have, and this is your resistances over here. So this particular ship resists hull breaches, panic, and engines down pretty well, but it is vulnerable to sensors offline, vulnerable, and weapons disruption. You know, it's like each ship has its pros and cons, and you want to balance it out. The one thing I do wish it did tell you here was its ship powers, like attack slots, because every ship, as far as I know, the ships in each category have the same powers, but I don't know that for a fact, because you have to build both to be sure, and it just seems like a waste of resources to build 2 ships for 1 person, you know what I mean? But maybe I'll give it a try and see what we see. So that's going to take 3 days to build this thing. So basically, you want to have yourself prepared for these sorts of things before it really comes around, because otherwise you're in deep shit. Skip time, you'll first need to return to the star map. Okie doke. And then you can go ahead and accelerate time. As you can see, it goes by quite fast. Days are not really a big deal in this game. Commander, we're ready to launch in T-minus 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second. Matter creator deployed. Oh, boop. And out pops the ship. So this starbase can just create matter, which is just so cool. Commander, the experiment was a success. All scans suggest this newly constructed ship to be combat ready. She just requires an officer to commander. Well, good thing we got one. And as you can see, your officers also have stats. Diplomacy, her diplomacy is atrocious. She does not get along well with people. But her engineering skill is pretty good. As is actually her tactical and science are pretty decent for someone who's not in that class as well. Dispatch the ship back to the star map. Click on the starbase approach. This is like let's see. The approach to the starbase, any enemy fleets wishing to bombard Halcyon will likely take this exact position. Yeah, it's kind of like your front door. So they land there. We're gonna go ahead and whip up our tank thing. Can I rename the fleet from new fleet to something else? No? Okay. The pirate ship swoops into attack position. Well, we'll see about that. Before every battle, you can prepare your ships by configuring their loadouts. So you can go into here. These are the ship's powers available to it. You know, you got deconstruct, shock mine, flak barrage, disintegrate hull, repair drone, and disable countermeasures. And these will inflict or exploit various things. So we have here inflicts hull breach, inflicts ship disabled but exploits panic. This one actually manages to inflict and exploit at the same time. Flak barrage exploits engines down. This one exploits crew panic. So basically what you'll see very quickly is no ship can inflict, well, to my knowledge anyway, no ship can inflict and exploit itself. So like you need to set up your entire fleet to work in concert. You cannot have a ship that is entirely self-sufficient. So for right now, we're just going to go ahead and take this because this dots it, this disables it, and this does pretty heavy damage. So does that though, doesn't it? Doesn't really matter, I guess. They're pretty comparable at this point. I'm not too worried about this little guy. He has like a what like a third of our health. I don't think he's gonna be that big of a deal. So let's go ahead and do this. Spray and pray. Oh, in the world are gonna hit us with that? Yeah, well, it happens. Deconstruct them. Drone swarm goes over there and gives them full breach. Terror tactics. They crew panicked us. Not great. So let's go ahead and disable them so they don't do anything else untoward, and then finish them off with a flak salvo. Beautiful. Need to turn those sound effects down because damn, those are loud in my ears. The music was fixed, but the overall sound's still a bit too loud. Let's go. Our new ship held up pretty well. Wait up, that's the worst we'll face. Good job, Isolde. Commander, we have a long-range hypercast coming in. Putting it through now. From time to time, the leaders of various factions may contact you via the station bridge. Oh. Well, I don't believe we've met. Feel free to refer to me as the Admirax, a title that denotes my supreme command over the pirate clans in this sector. No, Commander, or should I say acting Commander. My spies tell me I should congratulate you on your new post. They've also informed me that your fleet has fled the sector, leaving you all on your own. And so I'm giving you the courtesy of informing you that we'll be visiting you very soon. As this is my territory, and so your station now belongs to me. And unlucky for you, I've united all the pirate clans to help me take it. I highly suggest you turn tail and return to Federation space before I blow you out the frickin' airlock. You didn't say that. I'm embellishing. If you're of another mind, stay where you are and prepare for your deaths. That'll be all. Goodbye. Oh, Ches Slobchoker Grunwald. Time for death, Federation pig. I'll avenge the death of Toe Slicer and deliver this station to the Admirax. Sorry, what? I can't hear you. These massive death cannons are really loud. I like Isolde. She's got an attitude. Attitude is fun. Alright, 2v1. They're spraying and praying. Which fortunately does very little damage. So we're going to go ahead and disable one of you off the bat. Got my hair. What? Oh, okay. We're good. So this is 64 to 100, which is not really enough to kill it outright. So let's go ahead and deconstruct you. Let the dot start ticking you down. Ah, he missed. He did not. So he's fine. Let the dots handle this one. We'll just hammer this one down with flak barrages. Like I said, you're gonna need to have more finesse and more strategy. Right now, I have one ship that can't even exploit from itself, so you really have no choice but just blow the crap out of them, hope for the best. Which, fortunately, is just fine right now. Ooh, salvage stuff. Smoke Expeller 1. Oh, increases your vulnerable resistance and evade. Huh. Interesting. Well, looks like we'll have no shortage of charred metal for the time being. You can always return your fleet to the starbase by first clicking on your desired fleet, and then pushing this arrow. Oh, the return home button. You will replenish all of your permission limited use abilities like repairs and epic powers when you return to Halcyon 6. Alright, Commander, the crew is eager to regain our full sensor capabilities. To do that, we'll require an extra source of energy. The good news is, the tech research team has figured out a way to harness the station's core reactor with a smaller, standard-issue diauthrium reactor. And see, here we have the tech tree. It's not too big right now, but it's gonna get bigger. So you can learn to make a diauthrium reactor. That's all good. So it's just and see, there's no actual time invested into research times, so that's fine. But it does cost resources though. So you go to the starbase, and this is what this is your starbase. You have all these rooms to work with, but you got to empty. You have to clear them out first. So this ruined room here, for example, you have to go in there and manually clean that out, and you need officers to do that. So it becomes kind of a juggling, a matter of juggling your officers between fielding your ships outside the station and clearing out your space in the station. Speeding up time, speeding up time, speeding up time some more. And all cleared out. Okay, so show location. I successfully cleared the room. Yeah. Diauthrium reactor. 3 days to build that. Zoom on back out, and now we wait. And now normally you'd probably want to do, you would probably want to do more than just wait for this thing, but it's the tutorial, so. The station is fully powered, Commander, and our sensors are back online. We've compiled a navigational map of all Federation systems and facilities. As loyal members of the Federation officer class, it is our duty to protect these facilities at all costs. In the case of an attack, these facilities will transmit distress signals to us. So basically, you got to keep an eye on as much of this as possible. Keep it safe, and when they transmit distress signals, which are noted here in your little window down the bottom right corner, you need to go take care of that stuff. These are your current missions. There's a distressed refinery over at Ghost Head, which is this place right next door. And honestly, I think that'll probably do for our first mission, like our first look at Halcyon 6, because this game, like I said, is enormous. Like like you can't even get out of it too. Like it wants me to just keep going and going and going. You can't even save until it lets you out of the tutorial, which takes, like, as you can see, like an hour. And I'm not willing to go that long in the first video. It's too much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call this here. I'm basically forced to just, like, I'll basically have to end the recording here and pick up the next one from this exact spot because there's nothing else for it, really. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this first look at Halcyon 6 Lightspeed Edition. I know it's a lot to take in, and I know it's probably not the kind of game for everyone. It is a very long. What's the way to put it? It is definitely a long format game. You know, like there's a lot to it, a lot of thought, a lot of planning. But once you get the hang of it, I feel like you can kind of rifle through it a little faster. But if it's your kind of game, then please, hang around and watch, and leave comments and suggestions and all that other good stuff. If it's not your kind of game, I understand. You'll have Hollow Knight in a couple hours, and hopefully that's more your speed. And if not, make some suggestions as to what you do want to play. I'm thinking I do have a few other things on my mind that I might be playing in the near future. So stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. And for now, MonsterMatt out.